Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so I guess it's Flashback Sunday. I'm doing 2 flashback videos today. Well, maybe it's Flashback Monday because you'll be seeing these released on Monday afternoon. But I'm pumping out these flashback videos because, frankly, I think they're really necessary right now. I mean, the media has been in full-on propaganda mode here recently. They've attempted to rewrite history. I mean, maybe this slip-up from Joe Biden here wasn't just another one of his honest brain farts. Maybe it was a Freudian slip.
What I'm excited about, beyond the specifics of this, we're rewriting history. We're allowing history to be written what happened. So our children, our grandchildren, everybody understands what happened and what could still happen. Matter of fact, something happened here similar recently.
They've attempted to rewrite history here with Kamala Harris, but let's do the opposite. Let's rewrite history in a way, almost literally. Let's just re-roll the clips, go back and do all the flashbacks to the real history of who Kamala Harris is. They're currently trying to present her as a capable debater and a serious campaigner that Trump is scared of, but let's take a look at how they described her when a presidential election wasn't on the line. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, I think pretty much the intro said it all. Take a look at this.
How Kamala Harris's campaign unraveled. They obtained the resignation letter of the Harris campaign state operations director, who is now joining the Bloomberg campaign. She wrote, "It is unacceptable that with less than 90 days until Iowa, we still do not have a real plan to win. Our campaign for the people is made up of diverse talent, which is being squandered by indecision and a lack of leadership who lead." Molly, that is rough stuff. You wrote a fantastic cover story on Kamala Harris about a month ago or so. I'm sure, based on what your reporting has been, a lot of this isn't really a surprise to you.
No, what's a surprise is that she has failed to turn it around despite literally months and months and months of hearing this kind of frustration. And you hear it, it's reporters, it's people inside the campaign, it's people outside the campaign, it's pretty much every voter that you meet on the campaign trail who goes to see her. And the common theme is people want to like her, and then she doesn't close the deal. She's not able to articulate a consistent and compelling message that makes those voters who show up for her, who are interested in what she's selling, that makes them decide, yes, this is the candidate I can commit to. And the Times story and a Post story today have really laid out this frustration, especially within her team, that she hasn't been able to make those decisions.
And she's been all over the place in terms of the message. Here's a clip to show some of her kind of all over the place messaging.
Truth, justice, decency, equality, freedom. Our mother would sit up trying to figure out how to make it all work. That's something most Americans know all too well. And that's what my 3 a.m. agenda is all about.
He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump.
And now to Lou, one of the messages is she's the one who can bring back the Obama coalition in the way that Obama had it in 2007.
Yeah, they've tried out a number of different messages over the past several months and just tried to see what is stuck. And it's been difficult to follow her campaign because there have been so many different messages. And one of the biggest debates that she's having internally is whether she wants to be sort of this progressive, left-wing California liberal, or whether or not she wants to be more of a moderate. And both of those lanes are currently clogged up, and the fact that she's kind of vacillating between the two of those makes it difficult for any voter to stick to her when there are so many other options.
And Julie, this was a policy-heavy campaign, I think, in a way that some folks who got in didn't necessarily predict and maybe weren't ready for, and she has had issues with some of her policies.
Right, and some of this goes back to the candidate herself. I mean, they have tried out a lot of different messages and a lot of different strategies, but as Molly said, it is her lack of ability to stick to one policy prescription, one set of policy issues that she really wants to be her trademark that has put her where she is today.
Yeah, for her it seems like it's do or die Iowa, so we'll see. Just a couple of weeks left.
I just want to keep putting it all into perspective. I mean, Kamala Harris is being presented as brand new goods, but obviously she's damaged goods. And these clips keep popping up, essentially talking about Kamala Harris as if she's a drag on the party, a disaster. I mean, frankly, the way they talk about her, it's almost as if she should resign from politics. And all of this obviously packed some substance, considering the leftist networks essentially wanted nothing to do with her. I mean, her own side viewed her as a complete and utter failure. She was the punchline, branded the least popular vice president in American history near unanimously. You know, there's not a lot of things that we all agree on, but the fact that Kamala Harris sucked, I mean, that's something that I thought we had harmonious agreement on, but apparently not anymore. You know how fast things change. It's just incredible to see. But the unfortunate part for these dishonest Democrats in the media is, well, just because you say something, well, it doesn't necessarily automatically speak it into existence now, does it? They can say that Kamala Harris is great all they want, but that pesky thing called reality, well, it still kind of lurks in the shadows, you know, it lurks behind the shoulder. You know, Democrats can go on and on all they want, talking about how great Kamala Harris is, how qualified she is, how much of a great speaker she is, but the reality that they pointed out a couple of years ago, well, it still remains true, unfortunately for them. CNN said this specifically, quote, "She's not able to articulate a consistent and compelling message." That was the criticism of Kamala Harris back in 2020. She essentially wasn't able to get it together. Tulsi Gabbard at the time ended Kamala Harris's career. It was questioned whether Kamala Harris would ever even be able to come back from that embarrassing defeat, considering how utterly exposed she had been. And the verdict at the time was clear. Kamala Harris doesn't have what it takes to push forward a compelling message. Well, again, going back to the question, has that changed? No, it hasn't.
And that's what our election is about. Our election is about understanding the importance of this beautiful country of ours in terms of what we stand for around the globe as a democracy. As a democracy. We know there's a duality to the nature of democracy. On the one hand, incredible strength when it is intact. What it does for its people to protect and defend their rights, their liberty, and their freedom. Incredibly strong and incredibly fragile.
That's Kamala Harris at her most recent rally in Pennsylvania. You know, she's saying words and she's saying them in a way where if you were like 12 years old, you would think this was a great, inspiring speech. But if you actually analyze the depth of her words, she's not really saying anything. You know, it's the same thing with Kamala. Just these broad spectrum phrases. We gotta do things, and doing things means we gotta do those things. Democracy's great, but it could also be bad. You know, it's kind of like two things, 1 and 2. The messaging is just trash. I mean, it's trash tier. It's garbage. I feel like we're witnessing a dumpster fire of a campaign that's just running on steam, the vapors of the left-wing media's lies. At least that's what I feel I have to believe, because anything else, well, it's just hard to logically reconcile in my head. I mean, this messaging. I said earlier it was trash tier. Let me ask you, am I exaggerating? You guys remember that Trump event from a couple days ago?
This is the cost of food. This is the cost of your basics. Every single thing is up. Eggs up 48%, cookies up 27%. Look at what's going on. Butter up 31%. And this is just the beginning. It's a disaster.
Donald Trump does his social media event, and then the Harris campaign responded with this statement on Trump's whatever that was. At his country club, Donald Trump huffed and puffed his opposition to lowering food costs for middle and working class Americans and prescription drug costs for seniors before pivoting back to his usual lies and delusions. You know, pretty much you get it. Statement on Trump's whatever that was. These guys are so weird. They're basically just trying to act like catty 14-year-old girls. We got an attitude and we're taking on the man. You know, that's what it feels like. It's just so bad and cringe-inducing. And most importantly, like I always tell Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I guess Kamala didn't get the frickin' memo. Being catty, snappy, and all sassy is never a substitute for substance. That's it. That's pretty much what I got. CNN knows Kamala Harris sucks. The flashback proves it. The recent clips also prove it. This campaign's a disaster. If it's not a slow-moving train wreck, then I don't know what to make of the world anymore. Maybe at that point it's time to give up and just accept the fact that we're heading towards complete, utter idiocracy. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.